Hello, comrades. Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. My name, of course, is Open Potato. Right in front of us, we are looking at the massive, big old Palace of Soviet. That's right. It's there. It's huge. It's still a mess of molehills and mud mountains, but the important thing to note is that we are actually making ridiculous progress. Yeah, things are looking pretty darn good. We're almost to the phase where we finished at least the delivery of resources for the groundworks. We did the vast majority of the groundworks over the course of the last episode. Of course, I did indeed promise you that that in this episode the tunnel would be completed. The great tunnel of Potatograd. That's right, the great tunnel of Potatograd. And indeed, we are at 97.2%. So, undoubtedly, at some point in this episode, we are gonna get that done. But certainly, we're also going to be doing a whole bunch of other stuff, just in the background, actually. So, we started the big old process of stockpiling a whole bunch of resources for construction in the palace. Whether that will, you know, prove to have a big effect, or it'll just be a whole bunch of wasted effort, I guess we'll have to wait and see. There's a few little optimizations that I want to make right now. So one of them, for example, is this area over here. So we've currently got 4 forklifts. They're all really rather terrible forklifts, and I think that we could do fairly well if we wanted to just get some slightly better modded forklifts. It's going to allow for a slightly more seamless brick transportation experience. There we go. It's slightly more expensive, but that's fine. All right, load bricks, unload the bricks. All right, we can't do that, but that's fine. All right, so these modded forklifts carry slightly more, ever so slightly more resources, and that is absolutely fine with me. I think that should we should have effectively 0 downtime. So yeah, pretty much continual movement between the 2 areas over here. Yeah, I think this is fine. To be honest, I feel like maybe if I was able to just connect this up with one single industry connection instead of having an intermediary forklift section, that would be good. However, I'm not gonna worry about it too much, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, look, we are gonna need 7 tons of bricks, though. That's the only issue. We are gonna need 700 tons of bricks. I'll tell you what, maybe I should have another crack at that. The one thing that does kind of concern me is that I don't really particularly want to redo this this entire setup here, because there is the potential that this bridge might not work if indeed I was to place it down again. So that could definitely happen, but that's okay. We'll let these forklifts head back to the garage, and then yeah, so ditch the factory connection, ditch that right there, ditch that right there. Excellent. And then we'll see if we can just build a direct connection. Some other infrastructure's in the way. Building is in the way. There is a building that is in the way at the moment. However, that building is going to despawn in just a second. Wonderful. Too long. I mean, is it worth me trying to replace this right now? I actually unironically feel like the answer might be yes, because we're able to make 51 tons of bricks per day. However, we're never going to get anywhere near that level of production unless we're directly teleporting the bricks from the brick factory into the storage area. Okay, so I'm just going to waste about 83 tons of bricks. As it turns out, not too much at all. And we're going to redo this area a little bit, I think. Cool. So what else have we got to do over the course of this episode? I've got actually a couple of really interesting bits and bobs to do. Oh, and of course, now that we can actually operate with the auto factory connect, it's going to make a huge difference. It's going to make a truly huge difference. So yeah, I know I'm losing $2,000 now that I'm selling all of these vehicles, but I was going to see, is it possible for us to, to transport enough resources with even the modded forklifts? But the answer to that is no. The answer to that is indeed no. So Yeah, I'm looking for a position right about here. That forklift garage can be demolished in its entirety. No, I don't want the small one. I would like the big one, please. The big, medium-sized forklift garage. Not forklift garage. No, not at all. Right, I mean, anywhere over here would be mostly optimal. Forklift garage has now despawned. That's good. Step in the right direction. Ditch that, ditch that. Maybe ditch that, ditch that. See if that offers more of an opportunity to build in this area. Keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. Oh, yeah. You love to see it. Okay, that's looking real, real good. Right, let's also get this area upgraded to asphaltified road. I'm not going to build it myself because, quite frankly, it's very, very important that we get this connection set up, like, as swiftly as we possibly can. That might crash the game, by the way. I'm not super optimistic about that. This needs to be in place for fire prevention reasons. Cool, and we don't need any further connections over there. Excellent. So, let's get that built. Let's get that built as swiftly as we possibly can. It does look a little bit funky. I wonder if I can defunkify the road a little bit. I don't think I can. I do not think that I can defunkify the road. Also, there is no chance of that ever being connected. Although, now the tracks can actually be moved because we've got a little bit more space over here. Because it used to be that the storage area was right up against these tracks, but that's fine. Okay, I guess that's just not a thing. We can't get rid of that irritating base, but that's totally fine. Totally fine. We're now able to move bricks directly from the brick factory right into the open storage. Now, there are a couple of vehicles which will need to have a brick source assigned to them. Mostly these guys. So, let's get that in there. Yeah, so this is, I mean, it's an irritating thing to do. However, kind of necessary. Kind of necessary. Okay. Put that in there. That'll assign you as bricks. Cool. So one, you've already got. You, if I zoom out, look, perfect. It works. This is an efficient process. Great. That's already got bricks. That's not got bricks. Cool. I mean, they don't all need to be assigned, but the more that's assigned, the merrier. As far as I'm concerned, any other trucks? No. I think that's it. Okay. There is the brick moving office here. Prefab panels. Yeah, so it's this office right here. You've got a brick unloading setup already. So all we need to do, frankly, is just get this set up. Yeah. Why are you set to load steel? Oh, you're set to load steel and unload at the depot. Okay, at the, you know what I mean, the construction office down there for transport around. Also, thank you to the suggestion in the comments of the last episode. Also, thanks to everyone who left the code word. That's right, the wonderful code word, the wonderful tunnel code word. Indeed, that was very, very cool of you all. Storage percent above 10%. Cool. So yeah, there was a couple of suggestions about how best I could handle the boat setup. It might feasibly be possible. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test it out. We're gonna try the suggested route. I believe it involves doing 5 different setups. So what we'll do is we'll say load 25% or whatever it is, 29% steel. Then at here we will load another 29% prefab panels. Here we will load, 29% bricks. And then here we will load 29% or 19% boards. Yeah, so that's fine. Then we will go across to the other side of the map and we will unload 100% of We will unload 100% of everything. Then we start again. The only problem is that now we've got a full load that might present us with somewhat of a problem. So in order to make sure that this ship is entirely clean, I tell you what, maybe we'll just go beyond the borders and sell everything off. So anything that's not unloaded, I guess we'll just sell at the border. I guess that solves like our problem. Unironically, I think that solves our problem. Okay, let's do that right now. Okay, so you can go to the border. Thank you very much. That's brilliant. Because I tell you what, when you're over in Kobe, you're not actually that far away from the border. Yeah, that's actually not a completely terrible idea. Great. Oh my giddy aunt! Look at this. Look at this. We only need a tiny little bit more gravel. Speaking of gravel, there was a really great suggestion in the comments. Something which I don't want to say I'd never considered before, but certainly I'd never really thought of doing it. So what the suggestion was basically, hey, Potato, you've already got one aggregate loading thingamabobber, but what's wrong with a second aggregate loading thingamabobber? And you know what? To that I say, it's a great idea. I flippin' love it. It takes a little bit of janky admin to get set up, but I mean, a little bit of janky admin, frankly, is this game's middle name. We've got the slot, you know. We've got the slot. We might as well take advantage of said slot. The one thing is, am I able to utilize this conveyor over here? Because I still need to be able to connect. This area up. Right. Pause. Let's have a little shot. Overlaps with existing construction. You see, that is a falsity. That is not the case. It doesn't overlap with any existing construction as far as I'm aware. So yeah, this could prove irritating, because this is providing fire road for a whole bunch of structures over there. However, if we can find a way to do this, then that would be ideal. Or even maybe if we could throw down a modded crossing, that would be exceptional. Although I suspect that a modded crossing might be just a teensy tiny weeny bit too large. I mean, that's good though. That's good. That's really good. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so do that, and then immediately demolish that and that. No. Do not demolish that storage building. That's a very important coal storage building. Very important. I cannot overstate how important that actually is. Right, too sharp of a turn. I mean, but that doesn't matter, does it? Because as long as we're able to get access to this area, we should be fine. Cool. Alright, very cool indeed. So this can hopefully curve around nice and sharp right into there. Again, keeping this open for fire access. That is literally the only reason to keep it open. And, oh my goodness, if that fits in there, then that is totally perfect. Totally perfect. Oh, it does as well. Brilliant. Exceptional. You'll note, by the way, that I'm not building anything by hand at this moment in time, with, of course, the big exception. The big elephant in the room, or should I say the big Lenin in the room, of course, is the palace over there. Everything else can be built with rubles, or indeed dollars, if we require it. But it's probably important that I focus my homegrown resources on building the palace. Anyway, so now that we've got that second aggregate loading, it should mean that we are able to move gravel twice as fast. I'm gonna just reassign what, I don't know, 3 offices or something. 3 offices to use the brand new gravel pickup points, and that way we should never really have any issues again when it comes to gravel. There we go. I mean, it's a shame because we're pretty much done with gravel deliveries. I don't think after the groundworks there are any. No, there's no more. Oh no, total fabrication. There's still another 3,000 tons of gravel to go. So, yep, That's pretty good timing. Pretty good timing to get an additional gravel supply route. Okay, so that's good. So that is a couple of the bits and bobs that I wanted to get finished off right now. Yeah, I really want to stick around these parts because we're about to see the last bits of gravel be delivered. The last mounds are going to be built. 11 tons. This is the last gravel truck. This is the last gravel truck. Look at this. 12 tons of gravel being driven into the palace right now, unloaded, and what do you know? Only 120 work days left. Holy cow, we are building this so fast. All right, now we're into the next phase of construction. And this phase of construction just needs 1,541 tons of steel. Now. That's going to immediately mean that all of these trucks are mobilized, no doubt. Except the find range on this is lacking, actually. What about the find range and everything else? 3,000. 3,000. Yeah, I was going to say, I think every other office should have an appropriately large find range. Cool. The only question that I have is, do we have enough steel in reserves? Because we do have rather a lot of steel going to other locations at this moment in time. I think it's fine. I think it's fine for the moment. We are indeed a little bit low on coal. Again, that's probably because more of our coal is being sucked into brick factory production. Also, prefab panel production is consuming a little bit of cement. And cement consumes what? Cement consumes coal. Cement consumes coal. So again, that's something else that we need to keep in mind. What with our whole massive storage nonsense that's happening. But that's fine. Again, once we get the... What the heck? Buildings without a power supply? Oh my goodness, Potato, you idiot! It's like I'm my own worst enemy. It's the reason that we're not making stuff is because of me. It's entirely my fault. There's literally no committee. There's no individual that I can blame. It's literally only this potato feller. Only this flippin' potato feller. Building is in the way. What building is in the way? What other infrastructure's in the way? I'm dying to know. Didn't think so. Right, still don't understand what building's in the way, mate. It says that there is a building here, but I know for a fact that there is not a building here. There is a used to be building here. All right, well, let's do the old switcheroo, shall we? There we go. I mean, that is a janky power connection if ever I saw one. However, it's no matter. We got it. We got it sorted. Okay, so is that going to allow the unloading? That's not even the right one, but yeah, it's all right. Fine, we're going to unload right into here. And that is great. That's going to allow us to process coal. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Everyone's processing coal for both of the steel mills and also the brick factory and the cement factory, which is pretty darn great. Okay, so sooner rather than later, we're going to see a huge number of trucks arriving to pick up steel in order to transport it over to the palace. So we've got that to look forward to. We might just be able to sustain our level of steel going into this small storage here, although I very much doubt it. We're going to be out of steel pretty darn quick. However, in saying that, this phase of construction isn't even the one that demands the most steel. What is this? Conveyor roadside at Nuclear Grad. It's got a connection. It's got a connection. It's got a road connection. That should be totally fine. So we got to keep in mind is that there is a subsequent stage. There is a subsequent stage that unbelievably consumes yet more steel than this stage, which is kind of bonkers, but I also kind of love it, which is great. Okay, so what percentage is the tunnel at? I mean, I feel like we need to have a grand opening. Well, as grand an opening as we can actually have, but that's not happening quite yet. Cool. I need to do one other thing, or I guess not one other thing, but there was a couple of other things which I wanted to do. So, you remember, like, ages ago, I said, oh, hey, we got a large oil storage over here. We got a pump and harbor right over here. We're gonna eventually pump our fuel. We're gonna pump our fuel by boat across to Bridgegrad. What is this? Vehicle production line over here. There's a fire truck literally right down the road. Anyway, going back to Bridgegrad and this idea of pumping fuel around and, you know, connecting up a boat network, so to speak, that is what we're going to do. That is what we are absolutely going to do today. So we're going to get that built. We're going to get this built as well. So, you know, that'll cost the better part of a couple of million rubles. But, you know, nothing huge, to be honest. I love that I can now, you know, I can now conclusively say, yeah, you know, 1 million rubles. It's a lot, but I mean, you know, it's not that much. It's a fine amount. Okay, that is actually quite a nice pipe setup. So we'll get that there. Now that might struggle to pump because it doesn't have a pump per se. However, I think it should be fine. We'll see. We'll see if it works. Right, so next stage is getting a connection over here, which is very, very easy to do. Large oil storage. We're going to store fuel. Brilliant. Okay, so just like that, we have enabled a pumping setup. Pumping ability to pump. Yep, and all of the trucks are pretty good actually. They're pretty happy. How are we doing in terms of resource imports for fuel? It's very, very low. I feel like it's one or two. I feel like it's one or two forklift offices that I haven't found yet that are sneakily still importing fuel. I'm very, very curious as to who the heck is still importing fuel, because I really thought that I'd done a good enough job of weeding out all of the fuel suppliers. The fuel consumers, I should say, that are not supplied locally. I need to whap down a electric substation right over there. I need to whap this in here, and that can be connected up there. That can be connected up there, and that can be connected up there. Brilliant. So now we've powered up the pumping harbor. We've powered up the large oil storage, which is great. Speaking of pumping harbors, we actually already have, I believe. We totally do. We totally already have a pumping harbor built over here, which is pretty cool too. Now we've got a singular fuel storage area over here, and we are doing a lot of fuel. We're using a lot of fuel. Are we moving bitumen at the moment? We're moving bitumen to sell, which is pretty important. And to be fair, we might need to get another train to help sell that bitumen, but that's okay. That's okay for now. Totally fine. Have we got an output? We do actually have an output. We do actually have an output from this oil fuel storage right across to the train diesel station, which I don't believe does anything, if I'm not mistaken. And even if it does, we've got a road truck right here, which does the vast majority of the refueling. This is such a mess, this area. I mean, this is just, it's just a dreadful mess. It looks awful. It looks absolutely abysmal. But no matter. Right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna disconnect this station from the thingy, the oil storage over there, and instead I'm gonna stick down a forwarding pump over here. Does it need to be connected to the road? No, it doesn't really, but I might go back and do that at some point. And then we will connect that up there like so. It's already surrounded by electricity, so we shouldn't need to worry about that. And then I'm going to head out this way. Building is in the way. Okay. Disadvantage with building with rubles, frankly. So you can't undo your mistakes. You can't undo your mistakes. Metaphor for life. Metaphor for life there, folks. You can't undo your mistakes. But that's not actually true, because sometimes you can undo your mistakes. You know? You get a metaphorical eraser with which to reshape your life. Alright, and where are we going? Where the heck are we going? We're going over here. I think we maybe need one, maybe two more pumping stations. Just another forwarding pump over there. Yep. And connection. Excellent. I've still got 10 million rubles. And I tell you what, that's a perfect place. That's a perfect place for that pumping station to go. It automatically auto-zoned, which is very, very good. Is there power? Yes, there is indeed power. Brilliant. So, we can now access however much fuel we've got in this oil fuel storage, which is very, very cool indeed. Now, do I want to stick in a storage area for fuel? You know what? I kind of do, to be honest. I kind of do. I know that I've just built this pipe, but this pipe is getting removed. Yeah, this pipe is getting removed because in its place we're gonna stick a big modded storage. What's it called? It's it's a storage. It's a storage. There we go. We don't need a oil storage with loader. I don't ever think that we're really going to need... I don't ever think that we're really going to need any train connections over here with regards to oil. How much does that cost, by the way? 450,000 rubles? A bargain. A bargain by my new standards. Okay, 38,000, 26,000. Bit pricey, but who are we kidding? It doesn't matter. This is definitely going to get a road connection. I don't know if fuel buildings are more likely to catch fire. I feel like maybe they should be, if they're not already, but, you know, we're going to make sure that our massive fuel storage tank is appropriately kitted out in the case of a terrible fire. It's a Kinder storage. Kinder storage in Kobe. Thankfully, right next door to the fire brigade. Like, literally couldn't be any closer. Literally the closest building. Literally the closest building to the fire office, which is pretty darn nice indeed. Man, oh man, oh man, look at how much oil we've got. Look at how much oil we've got, and in fact, problem is that we just don't have enough people. We don't have enough people traveling on our train, to be honest. Yeah, it's a big old issue. Do we need more trains? I think we might need more trains. Either that or longer trains, to be honest. In fact, maybe both. Maybe we need more longer trains. Let's see if we can buy another train. We'll buy a diesel locomotive. We'll buy the T3M2, and we'll buy passenger wagons. We'll buy the most expensive passenger wagon, of course. Actually, no, we won't, because it's objectively worse. Yeah. And we'll buy 3 carriages. Yeah, we'll buy 3 carriages. That makes it somewhat longish. Copy that on there. And then we'll try and dispatch you, but, I mean, that inevitably will fail. Because, of course, it'll fail, because every time that we need to reestablish... Every time we send out a train from this depot, we need to reestablish this horrific signal mess. Oh, it's just so bad. It's just so bad. I feel like there might be another way. Hear me out here, folks. Hear me out. So, right through here. Yeah. Good. Some other infrastructure's in the way. Oh, you idiot potato. Don't use the bulldoze tool, folks. Don't use the bulldoze tool. It is so unbelievably dodgy. And now it's going to be utterly impossible to reconnect this, isn't it? Too sharp of a turn. That's fine. Well, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, take this back. Back. Yep. And bash that across there. Excellent. The whole point of this exercise was that I think we can make a train track run down this area here. Is that just too ambitious? I feel like it might be too ambitious. However, I gotta try. Look, you know, we're in a really, really great financial position. We don't need a road connection over there. We don't really need road connections over here. We probably should have road connections, given that they are quite important for putting out fires. By quite important, I mean they're essential for putting out fires, actually, in some cases. Right, so come around like this. That leaves plenty of space for a road connection. Right around here, right across there. And merge onto that left lane of direction. Nice. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Alternatively, we could loop it round and connect it to the right lane, but I don't think that that's what I want to do. No siree. Right, so just like this. Just like this. Keeping it nice and real. Disconnect that. And can we connect it up? Can we connect it up? Can we connect it up without further issues? No, we can't. But we can connect it over here. So that's pretty good. There's already a walkway over there. There is only a need to connect this up somewhere. Where the heck this is going to get connected, I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely zero idea whatsoever. Okay, you know what? I'm just not even going to worry about it. Not even going to worry about it. Let's build the rails. Let's get this set off. Excellent. Okay, you know what? Then we're going to do this. This. That. And that. Wonderful. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. It's that simple. Okay, so with that, we should get a fourth train on this route. To be honest, do I want to get more? Maybe. Is that too many? Is that too many trains? It might be too many trains. It might be too many trains for this track to sustain. It doesn't look like it's too many trains for the number of people that we have at the stations, to be honest. Wowzers, look at the speed at which these people are just appearing on these platforms. How many passengers can this take? This can take 345. Holy cow. Holy cow. And that's still not enough? That's still not enough? Oh, man. That is not good. That is not good at all. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to try and get one final train. Are you able to reverse around here? You're able to reverse. You're actually able to reverse perfectly adequately. All right, let's get another train of excessive length. And by excessive length, I mean 3 carriages. And we need to find you, copy you over there, and dispatch you as well. Excellent. Okay, so that is definitely going to be perhaps a little bit overkilly, but I mean, it's fine, right? It's fine. It's fine. We can always crank up the numbers of people working in the chemical plants if it's a little bit too many folk. Because, I mean, look, the chemical plants can go up to 500 people. 500 people. We cannot store or export bitumen. You are now on a sole mission to only load fuel. I've said it before, we've done this before, but yeah, we're only loading bitumen now, because the fuel can all be moved to the brand new storage area over here, which I have built, and it's actually already storing 576 tons of fuel, so that is great. Okay, I can't believe it, but even though I've bought a bazillion trains and a bazillion passenger cars and about a bazillion miles of pipe, we still have 12 million rubles. It's frankly a true miracle that this is occurring right now. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the export of fuel over here. Yeah, do we need another train? I feel like we might need another train. It's a little bit, yeah, unexpected, to be honest. Unexpected about how capped on bitumen we are. It's not good. Not good. This is also a little bit inconvenient, the situation over here. The length of the trains are just slightly too long to allow other trains out. Yeah, I might try and reset that a little bit. Okay, hold off on moving for a second, please. Trains. This connection no longer needs to exist here at all. So we can just move all of this stuff back. I guess we can get concrete. I guess we can get concrete tracks since there is, you know, money is no object right now, eh? That is a bad maneuver. And in fact, will cause the game to crash. There we go. So we're not going to do that. Can I fit a chain signal in here? No, we cannot fit a chain signal in here. So, I mean, even this is a stupid place to build a bit of rail. There we go. Remove that. Okay, so chain signal in here as early as we possibly can. Exit signal in over there as late as we possibly can. And then we'll do the crossover in as quick a time, short a distance as possible, which means that we can get the longest trains possible, actually. There we go. And so that shouldn't cause any issues. That should all just... It should all just work. Right, wonderful. Also, for some reason, are the game sounds... The game sounds have been turned off this whole time. Didn't even realize. That's great. That is great. Okay, still can't store or export bitumen, but that's okay. We're about to come in and save the day on the bitumen front there. That's really, really cool. And this train should be able to load up a whole bunch of bitumen. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough to mean that when the train goes to the border, we're not going to overproduce bitumen again? I don't know. I don't have all the answers. Don't ask me all these questions, folks. Don't ask me all these questions. 15 million rubles. 15 million flippin' rubles. Right, you're filling up here. That's fine. I mean, this is just great. This is just fantastic. What do we got? It's a railroad connection in Nucleargrad. I presume that a fire truck is going to be able to reach that, because that is a very, very, very important bit of infrastructure. Also, are we gonna lose wattage or voltage or anything? Are we gonna lose power on our trains? I don't think we lose power on our trains whilst that's on fire. It's good to know. Good to know. Very important, in fact. 16 million rubles and counting, folks. How are we doing with steel deliveries to the palace? I mean, I think the term is terribly. That's how we're doing. That's how we're doing. We're missing coal. And the reason that we're missing coal is... What's the issue here? It's a gravel-related issue. I thought we discussed this video game. I thought I had enough gravel leeway. I would have had enough gravel leeway if it wasn't for this stupid mechanic that I despise so very much. Right. We'll move one gravel train forward and hope that that doesn't cause too many problems in the future. That has actually delayed the tunnel construction a little bit, which is very, very irritating. Probably the most irritating thing of this whole saga. There we go. Literally, that signal is to try and encourage the construction of tunnels, like, as much as we possibly can. Because if we don't have pretty much continuous tunnel construction, then we're not going to get the tunnel done in today's episode, and that would just be the most sad experience. The most sad experience in the world. And we're so flippin' close. We're so flippin' close. We are so flippin' close. Man, oh man, oh man, I can't wait. Can't wait. Okay, so that is coal production. That is coal sorted completely. That's great. Happy days. That's really, really good. Steel, yeah. I mean, I'm prepared to poodle on steel. Like, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the time frame that this palace gets completed in. I'm more worried about making sure that it's actually doable, because 7,000 tons of steel is a tremendously daunting figure that I am just absolutely terrified by. Like, just genuinely terrified by. Okay, back to Kobe and the world of oil refining. What the heck is happening over here? It is, again, still with the number of people that are working at the oil refinery. A little bit low. Little bit low for my taste. Little bit low. We need a few more. Definitely looking to try and get a few more. Yeah, so that is not good. That is not good. But no issues with bitumen overproduction at this moment in time, which is great. Really, really good. You're just chilling out over there. That's great. Fuel is being pumped pretty much immediately into the large oil storage, or it's being utilized by a small truck. Either way, that's totally fine. Cool. All right. I think we're ready to start pumping. Pumping oil by boat, aren't we? So we've got two options. Also, ship is looking good. Our brand new Frida is looking real fine. Speaking of the Frida, this is the Frida that is heading. Don't know where you're going. You've just loaded up 29% with steel. Now you need to load up 29% with prefab panels. Hate to break it to you. You're not going in the right direction. So, you know what? Maybe this little experiment was an abject failure. However, you know, it will forever be considered positively in my heart. Anyway, what do we want to get? We want to get, well, truth be told, we could get one of two boats. We could get either the Hercules, the oil tanker, or indeed we could get the Pride. The Pride is 16 million rubles, can hold 19,250 tons of fuel. And, you know, truth be told, we could build this. We could build it. It requires an inordinate amount of steel. In fact, I don't even know how much steel it requires. Let me have a little look-see. So if I was to buy a blueprint, the Pride, it requires 4,000 tons of steel. Now, to be fair, 4,000 tons of steel is only half the amount of steel that the Palace takes. So the Palace takes a heck of a lot more. However, I think we just want to buy it. I think I will be able to buy one at some point later down the line. But look at the size of this beast. Look at the size of it. Now, I thought about buying a Hercules. You know, before the episode started, I thought, hey, do I want to get a Hercules? And I thought, no. Even if I have to take out loans, which, as it transpired, I didn't have to take any out because we made so much money over the course of this episode. Even if I have to take out loans, I think it's still worth us buying the biggest ship in the whole dang game. I think that that's totally worth it. I think that that's totally fine. I think that that's totally cool. We might buy some more Hercules or some more oil transporting vessels at some point, but for now, it's not necessarily a problem. Right, I don't want to wait until loaded. I just want to load up whatever's there. The problem with this Pride tanker, by the way, is that it takes an inordinate amount of time to load and unload. So it's quite nippy, actually, I believe. It can do, what can it do? It can do a 14 knots. What does the Frida do? The Frida does a 14 knots as well. So it's actually as fast as the Frida, which is our fastest boat, I think. There's a fire over here. I'm sure that can be extinguished relatively easily. Indeed. Yep. Pretty happy with that. Cool. Right. So steel. Still need 1,300 tons, and we are still getting basically no steel coming through here. Basically no steel whatsoever. However, we should have pretty much full steel production. Right? We should basically have full steel production. And it is being loaded up. However, I would wager that there's a bit of steel that is going to the railway production area as well, which is what's drawing down on our supplies. Yeah. Well, you know what? The secondary steel mill has certainly made a big impact. That's for sure. Definitely made an impact. You have got no passengers? You've got 98 passengers. How many passengers you got? You got 0 passengers as well? What is this? Why are there no passengers in this area, in this platform? Pretty much half of our city is within walking distance. And, you know, we get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of passengers delivered by bus as well. That's a little bit of a funny one, to be honest. That's a little bit of a funny one. Because most people should be able to get to the passenger platform and should be able to ride via train to the steel mill. Oh well, no matter. We are producing pretty consistently a good amount of coal, but we're just not making enough of it for my taste. We do have a very, very high demand on steel now, which is having a knock-on effect. It means that less steel is therefore going into the open storage because we've got so much steel going towards the mechanical component production and also vehicle production and also railway, train production and whatnot. We do have 2 trains. We do have 2 trains sitting over there, which is quite impressive at that. And it does look like we are totally fine for coal. In fact, yeah, we got 1 iron train, 2 coal trains. That's just the way that it should be, frankly. That's really, really good. Well, at the moment, it looks like we are prioritizing as much as we possibly can. We are prioritizing as much as we possibly can deliveries of coal to this open storage here, which is great because this is the open storage that deals directly with the construction of Palace of the Soviet, which is fantastic because we want to actually make progress on that. So that is at least good. It's a step in the right direction for us, for sure. Any issues with gravel? No issues with gravel whatsoever. We're absolutely on the same page of gravel, which is great. Man, we need to get this area set up. We need to get this area set up as much as we possibly can. We need to get ready to utilize the tunnel. It's gonna flipping happen. It's gonna happen in this episode. Mark my words, it's gonna happen in this episode. Do we need to do anything else over in Kolgradsky? Truth be told, no. No, we don't. No, we don't. We're in a really, really good place in terms of coal over here. We're a good place in terms of iron as well in Novoya Ironsky. So that's cool too. We're pretty good in terms of food. We're good in terms of delivering chemicals over to the small barn over here. To be honest, we're good in terms of imports. I really don't think we're in a terrible situation in terms of imports at all. There's still the vast majority of imports are coming from food. How did we do in food last month? 300,000? What have we done this year in terms of food? Oh, it's January. What did we do last year in terms of food? We did about 2 million. I mean, it did spike, presumably when there was some sort of either power cut or delivery shortage or traffic jam. I tell you what, it spiked during the traffic jam, didn't it? There's a fire station right down the road. Excellent. Also, I should have been keeping tabs on my my Pride tanker. Oh, it's already arrived. It's actually already arrived in Refinovsky, and as it turns out, is loading up with fuel. Is it gonna load up entirely with fuel? Is it gonna load up entirely with just straight up with fuel? I mean, obviously it'll load up with fuel, but is it gonna load up fuel from this stockpile here? The large oil storage stockpile? I presume it probably will, right? And also the crazy number of liters of fuel is quite obscene. The amount that we can actually store in here is a lot. Okay, so we're starting to load up the fuel onto the boat. This is it. This is in double time speed, by the way. This is double time speed. This is the... Oh, no. What? What? How did that... How did that happen? Can I reload, please? Fire destroyed the warehouse. Yeah, can I reload that, please? I didn't really get a firm understanding of exactly what happened there. Let's quit the main menu and then let's reload that. I think we can just do the most recent auto save, and that should bring up the situation. Was it maybe due to the fact that there were no workers in the factory, in the firefighting area? So we got a fire. Okay, zip across here. Yeah, so there's a fire engine right here. There's active firefighters, but there's not that many active firefighters. Is that the issue? Progress the fire. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it is straight up an issue with the fact that we don't have any firefighters, and it looks like the firefighters aren't coming. But it also looks like a weird thing is happening, because there was definitely a train that just delivered a whole bunch of workers, and now it's suddenly not able to deliver a whole bunch of workers. Okay. I don't know what's going on there, frankly. But there we go, I guess. What am I doing now? I am going to... You go to Shipsky Warehouse. What is this? This is Docksky Warehouse. Docksky Warehouse should have another... I mean, do we supply Docksky Warehouse via... Frankly, I don't even know how we supply it, which is part of my issue. I mean, how the heck... What the heck? I don't even know how we supply Docksky Warehouse. I know it supplies a whole bunch of the components. Where are you based? No. Okay, well, yep, I have zero comprehension of how this is actually supplied, but that's cool, I guess. Yeah, I guess we can just let that exist. We can just let that exist in the ether somehow, and I'm sure at some point I'll figure out exactly what needs to be done to supply this this warehouse with the resources that it needs to flourish. Because there is a connection somewhere, and I presume it's in Potatograd somewhere. In fact, I'm almost certain that it's gonna be here. What is this? It's chemicals. No. Grainsky small barn. That's cool. I don't know. I don't know how we supplied. I don't know how we supplied that warehouse. And that's a problem. Because now we're not gonna be able to build any boats until we get that done. Oh my goodness. That is embarrassing. That is really embarrassing. I also am very confused as to why that train was unable to deliver, like, a whole bunch of passengers. Was there, like, a delay? Was there a delay on the train? I mean, how many passengers are you transporting? Yeah, you're transporting 620 passengers now. What the heck is happening? So, yeah, usually when there's, like, 620 passengers, there's going to be, 8 firefighters. 100%. All the firefighters are going to go. I guess we can increase the numbers, but a bit late now, innit? Resources missing, electronic components. It's gotta be one of these. It's gotta be one of these flipping places. I don't even know. It's gotta be this one. It's gotta be this distribution office. It's 100% gotta be this distribution office. Right, Docksky Warehouse, unload until the storage percent is like 50. Sure, right? That'll immediately get you guys into action. Cool. And I'm sure that'll be great. Okay, limit the amount, chemicals, fabric, food, clothes, electrical components, I think we need. Mechanical components, we almost certainly need. Plastics, we almost certainly need. Electronics, we do not need. Cool. Alright, we'll give that a shot, see if that works. Brilliant. Also, 1990. Holy cow, we are coming towards the end of the known universe. Okay. I'm gonna just move the Pride off because I want to see this in action. I don't want to just watch this boat, filling up for the next 3 episodes. Unironically, that's probably what is gonna be what's happening. The vast majority of time that you set your eyes on this boat, you're gonna see it filling up. So that's what's gonna happen. What happens when we just can't transport any more fuel. I guess we probably have to have a backup system in place where we start exporting the fuel. How is that going to work? I don't know. That needs a little bit more work. We need to workshop that a little bit. But until then, we don't need to worry about it. Speaking of worrying about it, I'm a little bit worried about the fact that we're not moving enough chemicals across. Does seem like maybe we need a few more chemicals. Like, just in general, we seem to be a little bit short of the old chemical. The Frida that we've got over in Refinovsky at the moment doesn't seem to be working as flawlessly as I would like. It seems like we're managing to produce a heck of a lot of plastic, but we're not producing that many chemicals. Do I need to tone down, or indeed tone up, an element of production over here? I think we need to reduce the number of people that we've got in this workshop here. Yeah, I think we need to cap our production. Chemical production doesn't really need anything else. It doesn't need any more crops. It doesn't need any more oil. It just needs a good go, to be honest. It just needs a period of uninterrupted production to get us across the line. We're already maxed out on the number of people working at the oil refinery. It's just a case of getting a few more people moved over from Kobe. That's brilliant. All right, wonderful. Right, let's follow our Pride tanker. It should almost be there, actually. Yeah, it should almost be at Bridgegrad. Now, at Bridgegrad, we currently have a whole bunch of vehicles that are currently utilizing the Bridgegrad oil fuel storage as a drop-off point. For example, there are distribution offices. There are distribution offices in Kobe. In fact, there are a lot of distribution offices in Kobe, all of which use this as a drop-off point. There's not been any transport of fuel recently, because if you'll recall, the fuel tank that we're loading from, that all of these distribution offices are loading from, is empty because that fuel is immediately passing through to the larger storage tank. I can show you, actually. It's probably better if I use this as an example. Yeah, so the fuel tank here, nope, that's the bitumen one. Yeah, so the fuel tank over here, constantly empty because the fuel is just literally passing through and immediately going into the large oil storage over here. Now, that might have a knock-on effect some other places, because there is one... What is it? There is one of these... You got no tasks. I thought that we had one... I thought that we had one local... I'm sure that we had one local distribution office that was doing a whole bunch of refilling the gas stations on this side of the map. Because we do have gas stations over here. They're not particularly rare. You weren't covered by a distribution office, but I'm sure that there was another... I'm sure there was another gas station that was covered by a distribution office. Maybe I'm just going absolutely bonkers, but I'm sure that we had one of these oil transports set up to actually transport fuel to gas stations. Anyway, it doesn't particularly matter. Point that I was trying to make has been made. Yeah, there's no fuel here, and therefore these oil or fuel transporting trucks pretty much made redundant, at least for now. The Pride is about to enter Bridgegrad. It's was it 580 tons? So, you know, reasonably little fuel, actually, but it's going to provide more than 50% of the required fuel for this oil storage over here. It's actually maybe a bit of a problem using the Pride. In fact, I think it is a bit of a problem using the Pride because it fills up, you know, right to the top, and it's such a large vessel and it takes such a long time. I feel like maybe we need to get some smaller vessels worked into our transport mix, because otherwise it's gonna take ages to get this boat loaded up, and we're probably going to receive relatively few deliveries of fuel to this area. Are we filling up with fuel over here? Is this pumping, or is this not pumping? It doesn't seem like it's pumping. So that needs a little bit of an amendment. I did say that this might happen. I kind of feel like maybe I should have been more prepared, but also, does it really matter? No. No, it does not. It does not matter. It does not matter even slightly. We can literally just manage to do something like this. Can I... No. Sure, we'll stick that in there, and stick that in there. Wonderful. And that even looks a little bit more professional. What do you know? And just like that, we're able to pump all of the fuel out of here into there. Right, so I said that, you know, perhaps we didn't want all of our fuel to be delivered via the Pride tanker. Instead, let's go and get a Hercules. Let's go and get a Hercules. Let's copy the orders of the Pride tanker over to the Hercules. Should actually be relatively easy to do, and then dispatch you. And in fact, let's buy one more Hercules as well, because that also seems like a fairly good idea. Now, the pumping stations can only technically handle 2 ships at a time, so we're only ever going to be able to have, you know, 2 Hercules or 1 Hercules and 1 Pride loading or unloading at the same time. But I think we need to have that set up so that we've constantly got somebody engaging in the pumping station. Because these Hercules, by the way, can carry a fairly substantial amount of oil themselves. 1,500 tons, just like that. So that's, you know, that's a good amount of oil. Nowhere near, of course, the 19,000 tons that the Pride can carry, which is just as well, because the Pride tanker is probably legitimately going to be filling up for about 3 episodes. Right, how are we doing over here? We're doing not too bad over here. That's fine. You need to not be on wait until unloaded, because I want to see a little bit more activity around these parts, please. Yeah, this is not looking so good. How did we do on the whole bridge building thing? We're at 98.3%. You know what? You know what? I am convinced. I am convinced enough with the case for purchasing the remainder of this road. The remainder of this road, it says it's a road. It's actually a tunnel. I know we have built the vast majority of this tunnel by ourselves. However, I would point out that I feel we have done a tremendous amount of work. A tremendous amount of work given the circumstances. And I am immensely happy with the amount of effort that has gone into building these tunnels. So I'm just going to purchase the last, like, $500,000 worth of tunneling, because, oh boy, I mean, we've been, but at the same time, I feel like, do I want to build every bit myself? To be brutally honest, right, at the very start, I did actually technically pay for a tiny little bit of construction. I feel like paying for a tiny little bit of construction at the very end of the process is also kind of okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy the remainder of the tunnel with the dollars, because I do actually think that it's that important that we get it done as soon as we possibly can. We finish the 2 tunnels off. We build the vast majority of the tunnels ourselves, which I think is totally okay. I think that's passable. I hope you'll give me a pass for that one, dear viewer. We're going to delete all of this track. This is totally not required. Yeah. It's pretty darn important that we finish that tunnel up over the course of this episode. Why? Because, I mean, look, we need these resources more than ever. That is still a connection that is actually needed. Right, I'll need to rework this a little bit. You don't even get confused. You don't even need to go down there. Don't give me that. Right, so this is the moment of truth, and in fact, it's going to be a very important connection to be made, because we have been waiting all flippin' game to do this. All flippin' game we've been waiting to do exactly this. So first of all, you need to be moved along here. Great. So let's wait until we got a little bit of a clearer run at this setup. See, look at this. We're just chock-a-block. We are absolutely chock-a-block, and that is far from ideal. So I'm going to set out to create as many signals in reasonable succession as I possibly can. Is it even possible for me to place... Is it even possible for me to place tunnels and signals? I was under the impression that I could totally do that. However, apparently I'm going to be unable to do that. Oh boy, that presents a problem. That presents a real problem. The tunnels, thankfully, the trains can go up to 120 kilometers an hour. In saying that, though, this massive speed efficiency bonus that I was referring to, will it actually be the massive efficiency speed bonus that it should be? I feel like it actually legitimately might not be. Also, why the heck were you not moving? Okay. Right. I think we're ready to go. I think we're ready to connect up the other end. And I hope, beyond hope, that it's gonna not disappoint and end up being a huge anticlimax. However, the fact that we can't seem to place signals in tunnels, that could be a problem. I honestly never thought of it. I don't seem to be able to do this. This is a confusing moment for me. This is a deeply confusing, distressing moment for me, frankly. This is a worry. This is a real worry. Okay, well, who's going to be the first train to use the tunnel? We gotta have at least one train, right? Use the tunnel. There we go. All right, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, you are going to the industry grad steel mill, so that means that you have to go straight ahead, which is totally fine. And you continue to go straight ahead. I also want to try and get all of these engines or these locomotives replaced at some point. That time is not now. The time for now is the time of the tunnel. Frankly. That is the time of now. Are you going to take a left turn up here? You're also going to the industry grad steel mill. Thing that strikes me is that I'm acutely aware of how inefficient this is going to be unless I get a bridge over here. So without further ado, let's get a... don't want to say an unnecessary bridge. I do feel like it's a little unnecessary, though. Steepness, too steep. Okay, let's pause. Let's auto build using dollars. That's going to set us back a nifty 100,000 rubles there. That's fine. Yep, I'd love to connect to the bridge, please. Excellent. Angle of connection is too sharp. Don't worry about it. I'll fix the angle of connection right now. That's looking good. Okay, ditch this road right here, which is probably worthless anyway, right? Probably worthless, he says, with complete confidence. It's actually totally worthless. Okay, great. That is good. That's a good call. Good call right there, Potato. Good call. Right. I mean, yeah, let's try and not demolish this road as much as we can, but there will need to be, you know, some sacrifices. Definitely some sacrifices along the way. And concrete-based railway. And we'll get that set up. Okay, excellent. Literally do that. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. The money has stopped rolling in, unfortunately. So finish that with dollars. And I'll take out a small bridging loan. An actual bridging loan. 1 year. You know, 1 year, $120,000. Sure. 120,000 rubles even. This is the first tunnel. First tunnel. First tunnel. Okay. Road cargo station in Nuclear Grad is on fire. Is that going to be extinguished? Probably. Fire truck's been called. Right. So the first train to take the route is gonna do this. This is great. So how fast can you actually go? 94 kilometers an hour. Is that the top speed of this train? I feel like we need to start building. some super speed trains. 95 kilometers an hour current speed. To be honest, we should probably set it so that the only trains that can go through the tunnels are the ones that can go at, you know, a top speed through that tunnel. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. You're going to hear it. Don't worry about it. I don't know where that train went, but... Wait, what? Are we doing... Are these signals in the right direction? These signals are in the right direction. They totally are. Alright, you're waiting for the next slot in the tunnel. It's a bit of a bummer. Okay, alright. So already you can see that the tunnel has got certain problems. Certain problems. Okay, in you go. What happens when two trains get stuck in a tunnel? It's a great question. I don't really want to know the answer to that. You are supposed to be going to Constructengrad. Is it really not... Is it really not shorter for you to go through the tunnel? I feel like the tunnel is, like, the objectively smallest distance. There's the smallest distance between the two locations. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's definitely a stuck train here. Right, now, we can do this. We can do this. We go to Finder. We go to Trains. Go to Diesel Locomotives. Less than kilometer. So we find you. You need to go there, turn around. How about that? No. Have you been stuck in here this whole darn time? Are you gonna struggle? Hey, it looks fine. You're not colliding, are you? No, you clearly ships in the night past each other. That's excellent. Yeah, okay. I think that's entirely been sorted. Oh man, I really regret the fact that I'm not able to put any signals in tunnels. There's no way at all that I can somehow manage to glitch my way through the game. I pretty disappointed that I don't think I'm allowed to do that. I can see the nodes. Am I able to utilize the node camera? No, that's illegal apparently. Can't place, as you can see, really trying to place. I mean, that tunnel, which I had such high hopes for, I think those hopes have been dashed. I think those hopes have been well and truly dashed. The capability of this tunnel to do what I want it to do, I mean, one train at a time, like one in, one out, is really quite slow. And there's a queue. There's a queue to get through this tunnel. You know, don't get me wrong. There's a queue to get through the tunnel. Are you going to the steel mill? You're going to the steel mill. I mean, it's helped by the fact that there are a certain number of trains which are going to the steel mill. Also, this needs to have that in there. What's the issue here? There we go. Okay. See if that works out. I think that might work a little bit smoother. It does work. It does work. We need a higher top speed train. A higher top speed train, just as like the bog standard train. That's what we need in order to make this whole setup work. This whole setup work. That's exactly what we're after. You are just horrifically not working. All right, you go here. And then you get in here as well. And you're gonna do some little funky dancing. Alright, that's a weird one. But there you go. Fine. Whatever makes you happy, video game, I'm fine with that. Oh goodness me. I'm so sad. I am so unbelievably sad that this tunnel doesn't allow us... to put signals inside it. I didn't even think of that. By the way, for everyone who guessed how long the tunnel has been in construction, people who guessed in the middle of episode 2, the original Potato Grad series is when we first started building this tunnel. I mean, and it has been on the go literally ever since. And now, as it transpires, it is but a shell of what it could have been. I feel broken. I feel, frankly, broken. I mean, if anyone has any suggestions, at all about how we handle this, I mean, maybe it's an idea that instead of it being a tunnel, we just remove the tunnel thing, and instead we make a track along the top of the mountain and flatten it out. Maybe we flatten a massive divot through the mountain, because I mean, this is horrific. One singular train through this entire thing. Well, I know it's one train, 2 trains technically, but 1 train in each direction. I don't know. This is like that time there was that fire at the end of the episode. Oh, I'm so dejected. So sad. All right, there's no code word. There's no code word at the end of this episode. However, I would very much value your suggestions on how we take forward this tunnel shenanigans. So the code word is no code word. The code word is no code word, but give me a suggestion on what the heck we should do with this tunnel. That is a tragedy. Just before we go, we'll have a quick little look at the steel delivery situation. 942 tons of steel remaining. Okay, next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to divert all of our stored up steel. We're going to divert it back. I mean, we don't have much stored up steel. We got about 1,500 tons of stored up steel, which can immediately be used in construction. We got a bunch of bricks as well. However, it's nowhere near enough. But yeah, we can start diverting that from the next episode onwards. Anyway, ladies and gents, thanks as always to the fantastic Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/OverThePotato. Also thanks to Banana Nana and C Senpai for being the 2 $25+ plus tier patrons. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I'll see you next time. Bye.